Indeed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Welcome to Kush Equilibrium. I am your always smoking host. Oops, great. We want to make sure y'all can hear my little audio and whatnot. My lights ain't right. I'm going through it, y'all. I'm going through it. Let me just give me 1 second to get everything properly together, because all my lights are not synced up like they normally is, so everything look a little off. There we go. That look a little bit better. Again, appreciate y'all for pulling up for another smoke break while we talk about this hip hop thing. I missed y'all guys. I ain't did a show in about a day or two. I took a little break. It's important to not get too caught up in this YouTube space, because it'll have you not knowing which way is up if you dive too deep into it. But y'all see, I got my gas station tee on. You know what I'm saying? I got my little whoop wop on, because I've been chilling today. Just sit here watching TV, and I had to make this video because an interesting conversation came to my attention as I was watching the show, and it kind of dives into the topic of, what do you expect out of an artist now that we're starting to get more genuine hip hop? More important questions are starting to get asked as far as the process that people take to make their music, how much they put into the process. I dove into a conversation my last show where I was talking about what's the expected participation of us as fans when it comes to making sure the good music gets highlighted. But we're gonna dive into some Rap Latte, because they was talking about something that really it piqued my interest, man, because I think more people who actually like good quality music are paying attention to these conversations. So I found a little section that catches enough of the conversation to where you understand the context and what they talking about. So let me throw these ears on and get the screen shared. Y'all gonna do y'all business, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps me keep the YouTube police happy. So while we in here smoking like we always do, or drinking like we do sometimes, they not in our business while we do what we do. And I appreciate y'all, because y'all went ham last week. I think I gained about 10 subscribers last week, which is dope, because it's sometimes you can go a couple of weeks and not get a subscriber, and it is what it is. People don't really subscribe as much as they are more willing to just pop back and keep watching the shit. Either way, y'all been doing your thing. I appreciate y'all. Let me stop running my mouth and get to it. Now, again, we got Rap Latte, and for this episode, they have the one and only Curtis King. So it's a good conversation, because you have two, I believe, independent artists, and you have a hip hop journalist. Tori does things beyond hip hop, but he also does hip hop journalism. So let's tap in, and as soon as I get me a lighter, I can't smoke without a lighter. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's a good lighter. Let's get to this conversation.
Tori, because we talked about this right before you came on, Curtis, and I said, and you're saying exactly what I said. And I said, Kurt, there's just an unwritten law that all MCs, like, we just all know. Like, I've never worked with Curtis before. He's just regurgitating the same shit I said, where It's like, there's like, you're either an MC, and it's like, if someone says, I told him this specifically. I said, if I said, I got the 30 on me like Steph Curry, and then he goes, yo, that's kind of lame. Everybody used that line before. Maybe you should make a reference to, like, Messi in soccer or some shit like that. And I make the line different. You didn't write the rhyme. That's us like collaborating. Or if two people are in that's like quality control, right? Oh, and if two people, like if me and you are rapping back and forth and you end with the word inconsistent, and now I gotta come off that same word. We're collaborating. That is all emceeing and collaboration. But so writing the exact the cadence, the bars, and telling me to write that and spit that, that's not happening with MCs. It has the bar.
We go back. Make sure we back to the important part.
Either regurgitating the same MCs, like we just all know. Like I've never worked with. It's an unwritten law that all MCs, like we just all know. Like I've never worked with Curtis before. He's just regurgitating the same shit I said. Where it's like there's like you're either an MC, and it's like if someone's.
Now, for those who might be a little confused about the direction of the conversation, I probably should have went back another 15, 20 seconds from where I started at. But the conversation is about writing. The expectation of us as fans that that artist, because I want to, because he uses the phrase MC specifically in a certain context, so I'm gonna stay away from that. As artists, should all hip hop artists write their own rhymes? And they're gonna differentiate in a minute, but I want to make sure you understand this. This is the question. Should all hip hop artists write their own rhymes?
I told him this specifically. I said, if I said, I got the 30 on me like Steph Curry. And then he goes, yo, that's kind of lame. Everybody used that line before. Maybe you should make a reference to like Messi in soccer or some shit like that. And I make the line different. You didn't write the rhyme. That's us like collaborating. Or if two people are in that's like quality control, right? Oh, and if two people, like if me and you are rapping back and forth and you end with the word inconsistent, and now I gotta come off that same word. We're collaborating. That is all emceeing and collaboration. But writing the exact the cadence, the bars, and telling me to write that and spit that, that's not happening with MCs. It happens with rappers though.
And then it
happens with performers.
Right there. What's the difference? Who's the difference? Where's the difference between the rappers getting shit written for? Are there not camps for rappers?
So I'm a writer with Warner Publishing. We have writing camps, especially a big one in Vegas, like all the time. When I was just over there, I wrote something that like this reggaeton artist was doing something. It was like with Baby, and the reggaeton artist, we wrote that rap because he was like also the guy. English is not his first language, so we're writing that rap. He's just a reggaeton artist. He doesn't see himself as an MC. It's about catchy. It's about it feeling good.
Hey, I'm glad he said that. Because every rapper don't want to be an MC. I don't think every rapper looks at himself or herself as a master of ceremonies, MC. I mean, now that's a separate question though. That's a separate question. Because do we want people in hip hop who don't look at themselves in that ilk? Like maybe a bad side of us as fans is that we want everybody to either aspire to be great or don't do nothing. We have to acknowledge there's gonna be some people in the middle. They feel like, hey, I know I make quality music of substance, but it's not the greatest thing ever created. Like, are we as fans willing to accept somebody as accept an artist that's not shooting to be the guy or the woman in the genre, and they cool with making what they perceive to be quality and throw their hands up with the rest of it? Like when we have these conversations about greatest of all time, top 5 all time, I think there are some people out there. There are some artists, some rappers out there. Excuse me, that don't want nothing to do with that. Hey, my stuff dope and it sell. Does it sell to where I'm gonna be greatest all time? No. Am I making the caliber of money that makes me the elite of the elite? No. And they cool with that. But are we? When I watched this the first time, it made me come up with that question. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Good. You write the rap. I don't see him as an MC. I have no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, he's a rapero.
Just take the integrity thing out of it, because we've knocked that down. But just
okay.
The idea of like there are people who are rappers or need the people. We understand R&B, you can write for them all day long. That's not a problem. You wrote a little rap for Rihanna, nobody gives a shit. But the people who are rappers who are having people writing for them, which I think we all assume Kanye does that. So then it's like, okay,
I would like to call them hip hop artists. I like calling those people hip hop artists.
Okay. So
that's me personally.
Who are they, and how did that happen?
Before they get to that, here's the question that I'm not sure how we get the answer to. How are we, the consumers? We're the end of the rainbow. At the end of the day, we're the end of the rainbow. The money, or the buck, as they say, stops with us. Now, with that being the case, how are we supposed to know? Because we're not always privy to what goes on behind the scenes. So how are we supposed to know, oh, such and such wrote this, but on this, somebody else wrote this? You know what I'm saying? There's no way to 100% know. Unless you see somebody get like a writer's credit or something like that. Okay, you kept it 100, bet. On this song, this person wrote this, and you wrote the rest of the album or whatever. There's no consistent way for us to know. And this is, I want to be fair, this is a conversation that some of those Drake fans be having, like, y'all moving the goalposts because all of a sudden, because somebody may have or may not have wrote this song or whatever the case may be, Drake not dope. My stance be, if you somebody who's competing to be greatest of all time or in that top 5 ilk or top 3 ilk, whatever ilk, is it ilk or elk? I don't think it's elk because that's an animal. Ilk, bet. If you trying to put yourself with the upper echelon, I feel like you should do it all. As an artist, you should have some layer or some type of even producer type something. Like, you need to be it. Like, I should be able to get stories, whether it's second or third hand of, hey, such and such was when they in the lab, it's a different experience. It's they block all this out, and they don't let nobody in, and they be searching for certain sounds and those type of intimate, detailed stories that we get about. You get about a Tyler. Well, as a matter of fact, we can mention somebody that's current. How a Kendrick Lamar locks down. You know what I'm saying? But also, these are people who've made it known to us up front that they believe in penmanship. They believe in the artistry of hip hop. Everybody doesn't give us this information, so it leaves us guessing. I think there's probably a lot of songs or a lot of verses out there written by somebody completely different than who we thought wrote it. So how do we accurately judge who to give the title of MC to? Because you write your own rhymes, you produce your own beats, you might get help in structuring the song itself or the album concept itself, but you really hands-on in all aspects of a project. Because we could really be out here giving unearned praise to people. because we're assuming some people are doing these things that they're not really doing. There's somebody behind the scenes doing it. So it makes me curious, how do we as hip hop fans accurately gauge who's doing what? Because let's be honest, unless somebody is outwardly saying and they believe in penmanship and proper production and taking your time with projects to work on the overall sound of it, how do we really know? Because then we end up with moments, and I'm gonna go back to the video, but then we end up with moments, and yes, I'm an adamant Drake hater. Thank you. I work hard at it. But if we had a way of knowing this out the gate, you don't end up with so many situations like what Drake ended with, but all of a sudden you end up with multiple reference tracks leaked. You know what I'm saying? And then that becomes a big deal. But it's more to the whole. I'm gonna let them explain it, because the way they explain it is better. Because when I'll let them explain that.
Can I add a wrench to that too? Because this is where I see people bend this conversation. Is some rappers don't have the ability to structure songs and don't have the ability to write choruses that that play the role or that take advantage of a chorus, right? You want something that people can sing in unison. You want something that's memorable, that's stickable. And a lot of rappers don't possess the ability outside of just making 5 or 16 bars to do that. And that's when writers' camps makes the most sense. Let's ensure that this person that I've invested my money into, that has so much raw lyricist talent, is able to craft songs that are going to be commercially successful. There I can see a little bit of bend, but then again, I think that a lot of that has to do with.
What do you mean by bend?
Bend in terms of, I would give a little flexibility to the rapper who is just like us. We're pure.
Oh, getting a hook.
Like, to me, those are teaching skills that are not always at the foundation of MCing, right? MCing is very much built in wordplay and literary devices that are not attached to commercial songs. So some of those abilities are maximized by writers and songwriters, and specifically in R&B. I've seen R&B writers be the best chorus writers for rappers who struggle with choruses. So they're in the room. That's where I see a little bit of bend in these conversations. But I do think that, to your point, Torre, the integrity conversation comes back to, this is hip hop, and I trust you because of your authenticity and that you're telling your story. How much could you be telling your story if somebody else is fooling around with the details of it?
Right there. Right there. I like that. Now we can have a conversation. Because I want to make sure, for one, we know what we asking for. Now that we're going through this hip hop transition, let's make sure we know exactly what we're asking for, and then we know what it looks like, so that way maybe in the future we know when something that we all apparently love. If you're watching this, you love hip hop, or you like smoking. Either way, welcome. Maybe if we educate ourselves on exactly what makes hip hop and the structure of it behind the scenes, it'd be easier for us as the consumers to know when, hold on, what you trying to sell me is not it. Y'all trying to do that stuff y'all did last time. No, maybe we can be the first sign, hey, hip hop getting ready to go off the rails again, so that the artists know, okay, look, push the limits on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And if I want to remain in this genre, in this culture, I have to play by the rules that has been set. This is, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But when hip hop was in the soul heads of the artists, and it kind of got off the rails a little bit, in my opinion, because money got into it. And can we really expect the artists to say no to the money? That's not realistic. But as the consumer, the person who holds the money at the end of the rainbow, if I, or collectively we, hey man, this is some jive they selling us. Nah, I don't want it. I'm gonna go back and play my old cuts, and I rock with the old stuff. And when y'all figure it out, y'all let me know. You don't think it'll be a more immediate change? Cause hold on, the consumer's not happy. Hey, Coca-Cola's changed its recipe. When they tried that recipe change and people was upset, that Coke went right back to what Coke was supposed to be. Exactly. Big brands try it all the time. Hip hop culture overall is no different. Hey, these are the parameters that allow you to be in this culture. This is what we expect from you as an artist to exist in this. If we as the fans are the ones who set those parameters, stand on those parameters, and when those parameters are not met, treat their artwork as if it failed us and don't participate, buying bundles, whatever the case may be, knowing the power of our dollar. This ain't a fallacy. This can really be done. It's a piece of it is on us as the consumers at the end of the day. It's no different than if we're going to get food. If you think about it, let your food be messed up that you paid your hard-earned money for. I guarantee you're not about to keep it. Right? Same thing. I think a combination of us being more vocal about what we want for our money, on top of those who came up in hip hop, the Clips of the world, Freddie Gibbs of the world, I'll even say Eminems of the world, that understand the structure, value the structure. They're not looking for the shortcut. I'm telling you, for the time being, we need more. Because I've been asked this question lately, whether or not we need more of our elder statesmen. I don't want to say old heads because that seems like it's like rude. Maybe we need more of our elder statesmen in hip hop to take the wheel right now. Because they already know what we want, what we expect. They know how this thing's supposed to look, feel, smell, taste, whatever. They know what it's supposed to be. That buys time for those who are out right now but don't know what to do, and then they need to pivot or need to figure out the actual formula, the actual real formula of how this thing is supposed to be and what they're supposed to present in their form, in their best form. Buy them some time, because it's not like every rapper out here is whack. It's just you got a lot of false flagging. They rapping about, you could tell in their lyrics, like what they talking about, they didn't live it. They just think this is it. Or you got a lot of the real in there that really live this. Like, this is why I try my hardest anyway, not to knock drill rap, because it's cats that's really out here doing it. And we praising them for it. I don't feel like that's the same as catching somebody rapping back in the day about street life and how they came up. It sounded like it was more of a story of they really wanted out. Whereas now it just sounds like they in it and love it. Like, that's the part I don't be that as it may, because I'm rambling. I'm high. We got to ask ourselves, do we bear some level? Do we bear some level of responsibility to keep hip hop on track? I don't feel one way or another. I just watch a lot of these different shows, and we're having these different conversations about hip hop and how it should be and how it should go, and what it takes technically to be able to participate in hip hop. Because now we're asking that question too. This is just one of the many questions that popped up in my head. Like, yo, it sounds like we kind of expected hip hop to kind of police itself. So it kind of left the game or industry or culture free range to be whatever, because there was like no set guidelines. Like, this is hip hop, this is not. These are our guardrails. We're not giving. That's where I'm confused. Like, 'cause isn't that what it's going to take for things to get right? It's like, we got steady. Hey, these are the rules and regulations of hip hop. You have to operate within this. You have to be this. Come from this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just curious. I like that these questions are being asked though. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Because at the end of the day, we are the money. We're the end product. We're it. The money. Everything that runs around the money. Unfortunately. And because of that, do we bear some extra? Hey, you know what? For the 10, well, I pay like what, $18 a month for YouTube Premium, something like that, $18 or some shit. For my $18. You know what? I'm not paying that, I'm not paying that, I'm not paying that. I don't know. Let me know. I could just be tripping. But we have to ask some of these like questions. If hip hop is truly in its reset form this year, is it just like the perfect time to ask all questions? Ask all of them. It'd be dope when I go have my little back and forth in the comment section with a couple of y'all. It'd be dope because they don't be arguments. It'd be questions, viewpoints. That's it. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. We're helping to figure some things out. No big deal. That's the whole point of this smoke session. While we talk about this thing, is to I smoke to think, and it just got me thinking. I'll be blowing through these lighters, y'all. Look at that. We didn't even go over. We right at about 30 minutes. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's the question, though. Do we bear some responsibility for the direction of hip hop? That's the real question, though. I'm asking that because, like I said, we are the dollars at the end of this hip hop rainbow. Because they're not doing it for free. I'm over this thing. Where my pen at, bro? And it was upside down. All right. I'm Oops the Great. This is Kush Equilibrium. Appreciate y'all pulling up for another smoke break while we just try to figure out the direction of this hip hop thing. We all love it. We all got memories of a certain song affected us at a certain time in our life, especially, coming up. Everybody's teenage years probably their best hip hop years, I think. Actually, yeah, that could be another question. What was your best years of life in hip hop? Like for me, it was it would have been my teenage years. Because for one, I was able to go get the album, instead of having to hope somebody would go get it. Back then, people really paid attention to the labels and made sure kids wasn't buying stuff they wasn't supposed to. So, but yeah, what was y'all best moment in hip hop? Mine would definitely be my teenage years because I had Snoop Dogg. I caught that whole West Coast movement, so that was dope. But let me get up out of here, man, and get this out to y'all.